Alright everybody, I'm just getting on an exit ramp to start my road trip back to Richmond, Virginia, my hometown, coming from Virginia Beach. And I get a lot of questions asking me, what is it like driving this car on a road trip? Now, I think I'll surprise a lot of people by saying, it's actually a very nice road trip car. I've done two extremely long road trips in this car. One to Detroit, Michigan for the Woodward Dream Cruise, and the other one to Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, right now I'm in 6th gear, and you know, I'm almost straight piped. I have no cats. I do have resonators and I do have mufflers, but you know, when you get on it, it is atrociously loud. But when I'm cruising down the highway at 2,000 RPM, this is how loud it gets. This is the loudest it gets. And also, you know, with the microphone that's on my camera right now, it kind of makes it sound louder than it is. With this exhaust setup, it is very, very loud when you get on it, but not too loud. When you're in 6th gear, here, I'll floor it really quick. Sorry, Ultima. It's not that bad. The reason I'm heading back to Richmond is quite unfortunate. A childhood friend of mine got killed in Afghanistan by an IED, so now I'm going back to pay my respects. His name was Kyle, and I knew him since I was very young, around 4 to 5 years old. So I feel obligated to go pay my respects. Another good thing is, since you have a decent amount of power in this car, even bone stock, it's very easy to overtake somebody, especially somebody who's cruising way too slow, not going with the flow of traffic. You can just go right around them, sometimes not even having to downshift. If you do downshift in this car, you're gonna fly by them and be that Mustang kid. Now about the gas mileage, I am running a 93 octane race tune all the time. I daily drive it because I just like having the extra get up whenever I want. It's really nice to have all that power at your disposal. On average, on this road trip specifically, I get around 26 to 27 as long as I don't have a heavy foot. If I have a heavy foot, I probably get 21-ish. But if I really have a heavy foot, like I get it, you know, I'm downshifting all the time, or I'm accelerating hard past traffic, probably around 19. These aluminum V8s by Ford have come a very long way when it comes to, you know, mileage and power. Another thing that makes this car bearable on road trips that's fantastic is, you know, you have a car with 420 horsepower stock, and you have all the luxuries that you could ever really need. You know, I have AC, heat, Bluetooth audio, phone, hands-free phone stuff. It's awesome. You know, it's perfect. That moment when an undercover cop is pacing you down the highway to make you go the exact speed limit. Probably the hardest part about a road trip in this car is an obvious one: not speeding. There's that saying where, you know, a car is good when you don't realize how fast you're going. Sometimes I have those moments where I don't think I'm going that fast, and I look down and I go, oops. On my left is Norfolk Naval Base. It's the biggest naval base in the world. It's where all the aircraft carriers are stationed for the United States military. Now, if you remember in my 1,000 subscriber video, I went through the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel. That is one of the 3 tunnel systems in this area, and this will be the second one that I go through with you guys. This has to happen. Love it. A few things that are bad about those underwater tunnels is, one, people get kind of stage fright, like as in like they get claustrophobic because it's a very tight area and you're driving, you know, highway speed. So they'll slow down to like 35 or 30 at a 55 mile per hour speed limit. Especially going uphill, emerging from the water, it just pet peeves me to death. Another really bad thing about these tunnels in this area and the road system is that the infrastructure sometimes completely collapses. When you have highways merging from 6 lanes to 2 lanes sometimes, it's just hours upon hours of traffic. You have to time this road trip almost by the minute to do it right. Just going down the highway and just knowing that you have a decent amount of power at your disposal is awesome. And if there's any idiots on the road, which of course there are, that try and merge when you're not looking, you can just downshift and go bye-bye. For example, I was on the highway almost home one time, and this lady in this Ford Explorer started merging over to my lane. I was right next to her, and we get to a stoplight, and she rolls down her window. You know, I kind of looked at her, and I just, you know, I try not to be an aggressive driver, so I just kind of brushed it off. But she rolls down her window and goes, "Hey." And I go, "Yes." She goes, "Sorry, I didn't see you." How in the utter world do you not see this car? You can see this sucker from space. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I answered some questions for you guys about how bearable it is to drive in this on a long drive. And take it easy.